Bianca, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, yes.
$69 Special Forces device turns men into beasts. It
Hello. Hello. We cannot hear online.
Hi, everyone who's live streaming. I know we have people from all over the world. We're so excited to have you today for the Discover the Emerging Market of Dominican Republic. We were actually, for everyone who's live streaming, you'll have a follow-up email with any questions you may have, because I know we're covering a lot. Feel free to connect with the team, and we're just very excited to have you today. We'll be starting in a couple minutes. We're just waiting for a few people who are here in person to come in. So stay tuned and we'll start in about 2 minutes.
Hello.
Hello. Can hear it. Can I help, please?
Oh.
There is a multiple bag. If you guys wanted to grab some information on your way out. Hi, Apple.
Hello.
I don't know.
We're gonna get started. Again, thank you guys so much for
I'm
here.
not- Anyone hear us? Let's ask everybody.
Yes, we can hear.
Can you guys all hear? Yeah?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
If you're not muted, if you could please mute, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, so I just wanted to take a few moments. It is a privilege and honor as a South Florida founding agent to be here at Compass headquarters. I'm Megan Probst, for those of you who don't know who I am. I'm going to be presenting with my dear friend and colleague, Bethany Martinez. The two of us have served on the leadership board for the Miami Association of Realtors. And over the past year and a half, we've been exploring emerging markets such as Peru, Mexico, Dominican Republic, even Dubai. And the Dominican Republic has really, I mean, it has a place in our heart, and it's been able to bring together this international group here today. But in terms of Compass is the testament of a company that after 6 years has truly changed my life. Everyone here, a majority of you, professionally and personally, have been really instrumental in my growth. And like Robert was saying yesterday, the fact that we have the people, we have the culture, but he's also building a platform where we can all really enhance our business. We can really step it up with our client services, but then also live a much better quality-driven life. So I just have to say thank you to Robert, to Ori, to all of our leadership, to everyone who made this opportunity possible today. And as Compass will be entering the international market in months to come, we're very excited in this hour presentation to really just educate you on this market, to really just explain what we're doing here, because I know many of you are wondering why I'm in Dominican Republic so much. And with that, Bethany, do you want to give them some takeaways?
Yes,
Of
so-
what we'll be expecting?
A few things we wanted you to take from this presentation is just our understanding of what we learned in the development with pre-construction and in the markets. We wanted to connect you with some industry leaders that are over there that can really guide you when it comes to investments or just lifestyle, culture. And together we've experienced so much, but we had the opportunity to spend some really special time with two specific developers They brought us into their life. They showed us what they were doing. And the unique thing about these two developers is that they were not from Dominican Republic. They stopped what they were doing wherever they were in life, came there and decided to take on these beautiful projects that we're going to be presenting to you today. So that's what you're going to be gathering from the presentation.
So again, we're gonna just go over the team. I'm Megan Probst, for those of you who don't know me. I'm a founding agent with South Florida. For those of you who haven't been to South Florida, we have a beautiful new office off Las Terrenas. I invite you to come. Karen is here from my team. I've had 12 years of a fascinating journey in real estate, broker associate, some of the accolades we have here, but international has really always been a passion of mine. I was born in Jamaica. I know that's always a question. Where are you from? My father was from Long Island, Island Park, youngest of 10, and he actually discovered Jamaica and he became a real estate developer, self-taught. And with my mother, who's Jamaican, we were hospitality owners. How many of you have been to Jamaica? All right. Have you been to Rick's Cafe? Negril.
Yes.
We owned Rick's for 30 years. So, and then with that, Bethany.
So just like Megan, I've also served on the board for the entirety of my career. It's definitely helped build relationships internationally all over the US. We got certified as international property specialists last year. Our association does a really intense designation for that. Our association is the largest in the US, and we take that proudly because they put so much energy and effort into their agents, building a huge network for us to have these referral partners all over. We've traveled to Dubai many times, and we keep getting, more opportunities to travel internationally. So around that time, when Megan and I discovered Dominican Republic, it was all these pieces falling into place and kind of like, finally, you can use all the things that you've learned along the way and pour it back into your business. I've served as president of various boards. Right now, I'm vice president of NARA, which is the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. And I was born in New York and I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm really excited to be here in my city. They call us New Yorkers, so I learned something funny yesterday, that Dominicans that are from New York are called Dominican Yorks. So Dominicans call them down there, kind of like what they call us as New Yorkers. So I love that. Yeah. So then now I'm going to pass it over to Leo, who is our partner down there and our trusted friend. And you want to share a little bit about Leo?
Yeah, so Leo is a real estate advisor with Tropical Max, Dominican Republic, Samana, and Las Terrenas. And quickly earned top producer in the first 2.5 years that he was in the industry. And he is the co-owner of Al Pasito restaurant. It's a French-inspired Dominican fusion. I mean, Karen's over there, she's been delicious. And he's fluent in Spanish, French, and English. And he was born in France. And we'll get into his story in a minute.
Okay, so how it all began. A year ago, I was invited to a wedding, and I originally had a date, and that didn't work out. So of course, what do I call Megan? I told her, and I think it was like maybe 5 days before the wedding. I'm like, you need to come to this wedding with me, and she's like, all right, I'll book my ticket. Everything is done. Let's go. We go, we check in, we're in Samana. I've never been there. I've never been to Dominican Republic. And honestly, I have no intentions of really going. I wanted to travel everywhere else in the world. But because my team member was having a wedding there we go. So there was one day that we had some time to explore the resort, and they were, pitching all these projects and showing you what you could buy. And we were, as realtors that love life, love culture, and love what we do, we're like, all right, let's check out some real estate. Let's see what they've got. What are these price points? At that point in time, Megan had been on social media, and we'd be posting and sharing. Obviously, another part of our business, the marketing. Every time you post and share, magical things happen. A really good friend of hers ended up realizing like we were in Las Terrenas, and then
so I, as a Caribbean at heart, I love beaches, but I love natural raw beaches. And the first beach walk I had, I was like, what is this place? Honestly, I was swept away. Of course, I'm there on the story. And Steve Halpern here, he goes, "Where are you? I love it." And I said, "I love it here. I'm looking to buy a spot." Wow. Said, "Which part of VR?" Said, "Samana." Yes, in bold. Beautiful. Said, "Las Terrenas." I almost bought a spot last month there. I said, "I'm looking." My problem when I travel is if I fall in love with the place, I want to buy something. You should be reporting Gail. He's one of the top agents out there. So that was the moment that I heard about Leo. So Leo, do you want to take it from here and express why you're in Las Terrenas and why you're here today at our campus headquarters?
Okay, so hi everyone. I'll send you a story. So I arrived with my mother 7 years ago. Was just to open a little like work in holiday, and after 1 year go back to France. And after 1 year, I understand I was close to my little dream was coming to New York. And I was seeing my mother feeling very well. The quality of life was incredible. So I put a lot of effort to be able to stay in the Dominican Republic, always with the idea to be close to the United States. And COVID came after 5 years of hard work. We were on the top 5 of TripAdvisor, earning a little bit of money to be able to stay there. And COVID came. We didn't know that Dominican Republic will keep the curfew for 1 year and a half. And in a restaurant, you earn money by the night, not during the day. We wasn't on the beach. So on December 2020 was a little bit hard. We were about to go back to France after 5 years of hard work. We couldn't pay the rent. We couldn't pay the chef. It was really complicated. And so just before that, I tried to do the real estate, but from my restaurant. And in January, I have the boss of Tropical Max, a leader, who called me and tell me, "Look, Leo, is a top agent who just closed the door to the office and you want to see 3 luxury houses tomorrow." I say, "Okay, top agent, New York, luxury." Then let's try it. Take my phone and I organize it. On the next day, 9 a.m., where I meet Steve Halpern, we're going for showing. But at this time, I have no listing, never show something. I even don't know what is a referral. And I say, "Okay, let's go." I remember in the first house, you start asking me some question, and I mistake the bedroom and the rooms, and I think we've been counting the bedroom together. Don't worry, Leo, okay, I understand. I've been through with him. I say, "It's the first time I'm showing something." And it was a 2.7 million house at this moment. At the end of this day, we're coming to my restaurant and he's giving me one advice. In the restaurant, I'm trying to sit with him, at the same time I'm working. And he told me, "You should try to do only real estate. Quit the restaurant." I asked my mother, I asked her for 1 week to don't hear about the restaurant. And in 2020, and 3 days after, Steve didn't leave Dominican Republic yet, that I'm signing my first promise of sale. 1 month after, I get $4,000. I give it to my mother. She pay all the debt, the chef. Of course, we're living with small. Here, with $4,000 to get Dominican restaurant, you're not going to go too far. And so, in 2021, I finished top number 2 producer of Tropical Max with 21 sales. In 2022, I did 62 sales. I became number 1 of the agency. And so right now I'm here just to let you know that I will be the one personally taking care of you if you come to Las Terrenas. If you have a client, to make sure that you have the best experience. And of course, making sure you understand it's a higher rentability investment. And that's it. Thank you to be here.
I just think that's a beautiful, again, testament to like that one moment in time can change the trajectory for so many people. So,
And just like it changed the year for us. So for those of you who haven't been to Dominican Republic, it's just a quick overview of where we're located on our side. So we're in New York, we're also from South Florida, and essentially you're just under 4 hours away from New York in travel time, just 2 hours and 15 minutes from Miami, 3 hours from Boston, 4 hours from Chicago. It's an easy flight. There's tons of direct flights. So for anybody in our markets, this is why we feel it is such a good investment, a good place to vacation. It's very easy to get to. Those are all things that people look at when traveling or investing in a different country.
How many people have been to Dominican Republic in this room? Oh, wow.
Okay, so how many people have been to Samana? So what's really fascinating is as we've talked about this, we'll come across a lot of Dominicans who were born and raised in Dominican Republic and have never been to Samana and Las Terrenas, and that's when we really get excited. So it's like, there's no way I know something about your own country that you don't know, especially something so fascinating and beautiful. And so Samana is the peninsula that we're working on right now. Las Terrenas and El Valle are where you're gonna hear from two developers who are building projects in these two cities.
So fresh spin on the Dominican, as I mentioned, I didn't realize that, you know, as growing up with a father as a real estate developer, there are plans everywhere. We're always on construction sites. So when I visit a place, I'm always looking at infrastructure. And over the course of a year, we've gone 7 times. And each time Leo has introduced us to land development opportunities. We've been able to see the commercial properties, existing residential properties, as well as developments. And you can visibly see the investment in public investment as well. So you can see the development happening everywhere. And each visit we've gone, you actually see the progress. I mean, hospitals, roads, new construction projects. So that's actually what brings us into the Samana retreats. We've had so much interest in what we're doing down here that we started organizing retreats for our friends, families, and, and clients.
Everybody's seeing what we're doing. They're seeing our experiences and they keep asking us questions. And being that I come from hospitality and Megan has hospitality in her, the best way to show people what you're doing is to actually show them, right? So I host a lot of events in Miami and I love it. And I'm passionate about bringing people together. So we hand selected a few friends in the beginning to do our first go around with the retreat to show them like what we're experiencing. Obviously we picked some realtor friends, some buyers, and put them all in a house, but we curated this amazing experience. And then after that, then we saw people's face. We saw how happy they were, what they were experiencing. And we said, we're onto something. We should continue to do this. You know, it's not, we naturally sell, but we don't even have to sell. We just got to let people enjoy what we're experiencing and make it easy for them to come out there and experience it. And then Las Terrenas and these beautiful places, they will sell themselves. So we've had so much fun doing it. And our last retreat was probably our biggest. We've had real estate attorneys, some really important people in our network. And then we've also collaborated with organizations down there like the Dominican Joe Foundation. And we had a weekend worth of events and everybody left there changed. And we had a huge villa where everybody came to stay. We had a party where we invited people that we met from these events. And it was just so perfect. And we documented. And every time we create videos and content about this is when people start to see and they're like, we want to be a part of the next retreat. So stay tuned. Yes. Because if you want to come, we're going to keep doing these retreats because that's what's been working best.
And the next one's gonna be, we're gonna have jujitsu, we're gonna have yoga, wellness.
And now I'm on a newfound journey of salsa. So we in our like highest moments when we're so happy and we're on the beach and I'm like, I have an idea. One villa, one dance. We're gonna have 3 different villas. It'll be salsa, it'll be bachata. We're gonna have an instructor fly in. We're just thinking of all these crazy ideas. But that's what makes this fun, when you're able to do what you love and share what you love with those around you. And just a little bit about the currency and the population. The currency is the Dominican peso. Population in Dominican Republic is about 11 million people. In Samana alone, it's 139. And the languages that are most prevalent are Spanish, French, and English. You even have some Italian, but it was actually quite amazing to see such a European influence in Las Terrenas. So many people from France are starting businesses there. So many people from all over the world, Poland, the Netherlands. Like, it's just, it's really crazy to see that, because I almost am like, we're the Dominicans, you know?
So leadership, of course, leadership is very important aspect to any country or organization. And as I was studying more about the president of Dominican Republic, Luis Abinader, it really reminded me of our Miami mayor. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about Francis Suarez. He actually drove so much investment into South Florida. We had 132 corporations moving to South Florida. He really he was a businessman at heart. So Luis has amassed his family business of 70 million in hotels and hospitality portfolio. And he really is changing the country. He's digitalizing the country. He's really cutting down on any money laundering or corruption. I'm actually in the process of buying a property myself now, and they are doing the due diligence on the developer, but they're doing the due diligence on me, which I found very interesting. The process is also very similar to what you expect in the United States in terms of having an attorney and running through title. But what was very interesting was the World Trade Organization called DR the best recovery of any nation during the pandemic. He didn't shut down the borders. He was actually very organized with the testing and kept the businesses running and open. And in 2022, the economy welcomed, which was very impressive to me, $4 billion in direct foreign investment. That's not including purchases of second homes, which is a majority of what you're finding down there. And then he has a very strong focus in Samana specifically. So you can actually see that. You know, everyone hears about Dominican Republic and they hear Punta Cana, they hear Santo Domingo, Casa de Campo, but now he's really focusing on Samana, and the president, as well as the minister of tourism, is really making an effort to be in New York, to be in South Florida. So they're putting their face out there and they're spreading the awareness. And through that, it's really called for developers to invest in Dominican Republic. And you'll be able to hear from 2 developers today. Proof in the numbers. So I found this again very impressive. And if you want to follow the Minister of Tourism specifically, he puts the numbers. He's very vocal on what's happening down there. Every month they're surpassing record-breaking numbers of people flying into Dominican Republic. You have actually in 2022, 8.5 million visitors to the country, leading it to the #1 travel destination in the Caribbean. Record tourism and foreign investment, as I mentioned. And the Dominican Republic has been a very healthy economy. They're rich in a lot of natural resources. So this just added to the popularity. I think all of us probably during COVID, you were able to work remotely. You saw what was happening in Mexico. You saw what was happening in Dominican Republic. People realized that they could still operate their businesses and their lives from a beautiful place. Why not in the islands in Dominican Republic? And then just alone in April 2023, they had just under 1 million visitors because the port is now open. So you're having record-breaking numbers from the airport as well as by the sea. So the numbers continue to grow.
So falling in love with Dominican Republic. So there's so many things, but I think what we really appreciated is the quality of life and the fact that they like to preserve the natural, beautiful nature of what you see and all the lush greenery. And I hope that's something that never changes, because that's why we go there. We love feeling like we're in a jungle. And then especially experiencing on our last visit, El Valle, which was literally the jungle. You know, at some point you couldn't even get to your location because there was no Wi-Fi. But it was just, when you speak to, no Wi-Fi to get there, but when you speak to the developers, they take pride in those little beautiful aspects and they don't want to ruin that. They want to keep that. They want it to be a journey to get to your, your new property and feel like you're escaping, the everyday life. And then they have national parks, waterfalls. Another thing that they like to preserve and keep is the low density, which is a regulation on how many units they can build per acre. So it's keeping it very boutique and not high rise and commercial like you'll see in like Puerto Blanc or, all these other very popular cities. That's really truly what I think keeps Las Terrenas and will keep it preserved and the way that it is so it can always feel special. And then activities, just like any other tropical place, they have tons of activities such as water sports, boating, zip lining, whale watching, horseback riding, salsa and bachata. It's not a big nightlife. There's like 3 places that you're going to go to dance, but they're going to be the best 3 places in the world. You can show up barefoot, you can show up with sandals, but you'll have the time of your life. And we frequent them like every night that we're there. And then the gastronomy, which is amazing because there's so much fusion. There's Asian French fusion. There's Spanish and Asian fusion. There's just so much diversity in the food. If you want traditional Dominican, you can get that, but you can get so much more. And that's what I love about all the European influences that are coming in there, opening up these little mom and pop restaurants and just showcasing, their culture through their food. All right, so new development opportunities. Now we're going to get to our presentations where you're going to get to meet with some of our developers and hear what they're working on. It was by luck and by chance and by strategic introduction that we were able to meet with them ourselves. I'm going to introduce Mike, and meeting him was amazing, right? What he's doing in Las Terrenas has never been done before. And so, and we've never seen it before. And we were able to get a presentation of him on this project. And after learning a little bit about him, it only makes sense on why